now is Mr. Harsh Mariwala, the chairman of Marico. Sir, appreciate you joining us. You know, when we last spoke, a lot of it was in the realm of conjecture and speculation. And today, we do have Cyrus Mistri's 5-page letter, which details the problems, whether it was strategic differences, management style, and so on and so forth. Do you believe that, you know, while Cyrus Mistry, if you a plain reading of the letter, may come across as the victim, should have tried harder to get his case heard, should have tried harder to take his issues with several strategic decisions that he claims were made because of Mr. Tata's interference to the board?
Yeah. So what do you want me to answer? Basically, I think this is his side of the story.
So
I don't know what is the Tata side of the story.
Yes. We're still awaiting the Tata side of the story, but do you believe this victim card that seems to be played out here through this letter is going to wash?
So I don't know whether it's called a victim unless I know the Tata story. Difficult for me to answer that question. But let me answer, first of all, a few other things which at least came to my mind, you know. I think when Cyrus was appointed, I don't know to what extent was there clarity in terms of to what extent does he have to inform Mr. Ratan Tata and when does he have to go to him to get clearances. And I think it was a little vague from whatever I can make out, and that's what has caused the real confusion, you know. So if there's a difference in perception in terms of when do I need to go to him to get clearances, then the expectations are one, and you know, he may be thinking that, okay, I don't have to do that much, you know. And I think that may have led to a series of issues into relationship. But even if that happens, you know, I think there are ways to amend it. You know, if I was in the Tata group, I would have said, okay, how do I amend the relationship? Instead of sacking straight away, coming as a surprise, can I coach him in terms of, you know, if he's harsh on a few things, you know? So to me, this comes as a big surprise, you know, that because of a bad relationship and irrespective of what he did, you know, and the fact that, okay, he didn't go to Mr. Ratan Tata in terms of clearances, and you know, ultimately it boiled down to a lot of relationship issues, you know, which I think the group could have tried to make it different by coaching, by putting in some other person to improve relationships rather than just sacking him. To me, that's a sad part, you know. Mr.
Mariwala, do you think things have reached a point of no return, that rapprochement now looks impossible?
Impossible. There is no way it can have any approachment. And I think what he has said in the letter is more to put him in the right light and okay, that he was not at fault. I don't think he's looking at, even if they offered him back, I don't think he will join back. So
no, not join back. Whether they would climb down from a legal wrangle where very clearly there is going to be more dirt dug out and put in the public domain.
I don't know to what extent legal will serve the purpose. I think beyond the point, what he will claim, I don't know. I don't think, even if he wins and that he can he be chairman, I don't think he can be chairman.
No, actually, that was going to be my next question. You know, the Shapoorji Pallonji group has 18.5%. And going by the arguments that Mr. Mistry is making in that letter, under the oppression of minority shareholder clause of the Companies Act, he can make out a case that money from TCS, 88% of the profit of TCS came from there, instead of being given to me as dividend, is being ploughed in wasteful enterprises. Do you think he can make that case and thereby stop further expansions? He can hurt them economically.
I don't know, but he has, I mean, I think that, you know, the way the separation or the termination took place was not the right one, at least, I think, you know, especially from the Tata group. You know, they should have done a better job in terms of ensuring that either he was given a chance or there were some interventions taking place, as I said, in terms of reconciliation or in terms of coaching. And, you know, this coming as a bolt from the blue. Unless the issue is something which is related to fraud or integrity. If that is the issue, then I don't have any sympathy for Cyrus, you know.
You know, Mr. Mariwala, there's a specific instance that's mentioned in the letter about a board meeting that transpired. But, you know, related to that, Mr. Mistry says in this letter, allegedly, that these circumstances forced me to circulate a note on corporate governance in order to clarify the distinct roles of Tata Trusts, Tata Sons board, and the boards of operating companies. This was a problem that you were alluding to. A quick comment on what I've just read out, sir.
This is exactly what I was saying earlier. You know, at the time of his appointment, there should have been complete clarity in terms of what is the role of Tata Sons, what is the role of Tata Trust, and what is the role of the chairman, you know, and what is the role of Mr. Ratan Tata and what is the role of Mr. Cyrus Mistry. And it should have been put down in writing so everybody is on the same page. And if it is left vague, then there are bound to be different interpretations in terms of how do we take it forward. And even if that happens, there are ways to resolve it in terms of putting in interventions like, coaching or put a consultant to look at relationships and, mend them rather than just
Sure.
on one fine day ask him to go, Unless, as I said earlier, that if there was an integrity issue, then he should be out.
Yeah, but Mr. Mariwala, actually, it looks like he was given a very clear understanding that he would have a free hand.
Yes.
Witness this sentence. I was assured I would be given a free hand.
No,
The
that is his
previous
side of
chairman
the
was to
story.
step
One doesn't
back.
know what is the side of the Tata story, So unless one looks at that part.
No, he
difficult
says
to-
actually the articles of association were amended after he joined, and the relationship of
Yeah.
all these entities you mentioned, the
I personally
board, the
think there would have been a
trusts.
better way to resolve it rather than asking him to go without giving him a chance. That I don't think it's fair.
No, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Shri.
Right. Mr. Mariwala, always a pleasure speaking with you, sir. Thanks.